All right, guys, time to talk a little bit of football. We've got what I think is going to be a pretty fun game in Denver. Browns versus the Broncos. Should be. We took a look. It should be. What do we say? Like in the mid 40s.
Yeah.
Virtually like no wind as of now. So we'll see. A lot can change. A little bit of wind could pick up, but yeah, so let's take a look at the over under. Actually, I'm just kind of curious. I know we usually do it at a different part of the show. 41.5 over under. Denver favored by 6.5. All right. Yeah, this should be a fun one. Both of these teams are playing pretty decent football. Denver just kind of surprisingly, we're all talking about Jim Harbaugh turning things around for the Chargers, but the Broncos are overperforming on the year. They've been really figuring things out. Pretty exciting. So yeah, let's see. If you're new to the channel, make sure you subscribe, hit the notification bell, and drop us a comment, like the video. Of course, got to make sure you like the video. But yeah, if you have any questions about props or if you have plays that you're excited about, drop them in the comments. We like to talk about it a little bit. And we're going to talk about demons in this episode too. We have 4 plays that we're going to give you that are just like the regular plays. And then we've got like a decent amount of demons that we can break down for you if you're looking to bump up your multiplier a little bit. So yeah, before we get into the plays, we are partnered with Underdog, Better, and Parlay Play. If you use code BACKDOOR on any of those platforms, for Parlay Play, you're going to get 100% deposit match up to $100, plus a free promo slip. It's like a $5 promo slip. And then on top of that, if you sign up for Parlay Play, we're going to give you 30 days in our Discord as well. For Better, you get a $200 deposit match, plus a free pick to help you cash your first slip. And for Underdog, you get up to $1,000 in bonus cash, plus a free pick to help you cash your first slip. Underdog has some discounts on the board too for tonight's game. So let's talk about the plays we're going to be taking. Yeah, again, all of those are in the description of the video. If you're looking to sign up for any of these platforms, use our code BACKDOOR. So the plays that I'm taking, I really love this Jordan Akins. Forgive me if I'm saying his name wrong. But this 15.5 receiving yards, we're getting it at 14.5 on some of these platforms like Better. Oh, they took him away. Okay, I'll fix that and I'll tell you what I'm taking on Better. Ooh, Akins. Now it's up to 16.5, and I'm still going to take it. Yeah, I'll get all this worked out, I promise. So Devaughn Vele, I'm taking the 39.5 receiving yards. That was my play before I realized there was a discount on Underdog, but I like the 39.5. I think the discount's like 36.5 or something. And then so we're getting that 39.5 on Prize Picks, and then the Jordan Akins over 15.5 receiving yards. I like it regardless. It's moving around a lot. It's a little bit later in the day, so the lines are moving quickly. But Jordan Akins and Devaughn Vele receiving yards are what I'm taking on all the platforms. What are you getting into, Jordy?
Yeah, so for me, I'm going to be going with I've got Will Lutz and Dustin Hopkins first quarter field goal prop. I'm so happy this is on the board. These have been just cashing left and right ever since I'd mentioned it. I was kind of testing the waters with this play, and then I realized like every time I put it in my slip, it hits. Last night it hit in the Sunday night game, and that was an absolute snow globe of a game. So these are always just really solid plays, so can't go without at least mentioning this to you guys. I've got some other demons I'll mention too that I think are really solid, but my other play is going to be Bo Nix for his first half passing yards over 107.5. I'll explain why I like that. But on Better and these other platforms, we're going to be taking Bo Nix. They actually took away the they had the field goal combo up for a little bit here, but we're getting Bo Nix passing yards at 221.5 for the full game. And then for Underdog, we're taking Bo Nix first half passing yards. And I like Dustin Hopkins 1.5 extra points made, because I think the Browns can score tonight. So taking that on that platform. For like the other ones, you can't get this on. So, and getting the same on Parlay Play for those two. So
all right, well, let's start breaking them down. I'm going to start with Jordan Akins here. I was curious too overall. Okay, yeah, so Denver is pretty tough to score against. I was thinking that they were actually a little bit, a little soft spot there. But so yeah, like Obviously, the Broncos defense is solid, and their offense has been putting things together as well. But I do believe in the Browns offense as well. So yeah, Broncos tough defense. But this Jordan Akins play, I just hate that I don't know if it's Akins or Akins because I keep second guessing as I'm saying the words. But you know who I'm talking about. 10th in receiving yards allowed to tight ends, 10th overall. So there's not a soft spot here. It's basically just the same. But he's gone over this in 4 out of his last 5 games. And what really got me like stoked on this play is he's had 4 out of his last 5 games. He's had 4 targets in each of those games, except for the one against Baltimore. Didn't do much. Target share. Actually, that's not really relevant to what I'm looking at right now. But here's the main thing. Average yards per reception, 13.2 yards per reception. So if he's been getting like 4 targets 4 out of the last 5 games, I like him to be able to pull down at least 2 of those. But if we look at the longest reception, but yeah, 2 would absolutely cash us. If we look at the longest reception in all 4 of those games that he got the 4 targets, he had like on the longest reception category, his lowest one was 18. So of those 4 games, he had a reception for 18 yards, 1 for 19 yards, 1 for 21 yards, and another one for 21 yards. So he could literally do this in 1 catch with the way they've been utilizing him. So I'm happy to take him over 15.5, 16.5, whatever we want to take there. I really like this. He literally could do this, even if he walks away with 1 reception on the game, he could cash this for us. So he's got all night, full game to take care of that. So I'm feeling good about it. Let's take a look. I'll type him in here on Daily Grind, DFS Optimizer, which we love. Just taking it a minute here. Yeah, so they've got this favored to go over, 51.98% odds to hit the over, minus 127. And yeah, DraftKings has it at 16.5, and they have it at a minus 125 to go over. So, I mean, yeah, underdog minus 122 over 16.5, parlay play minus 133 over 16.5. So I'm feeling great about this. This is going to be one of the demons I'm going to talk about too. So let's go on to the next play. Devaughn Vele. This dude's great. He's solid. He's earned a regular role with Sean Payton in the Broncos. And, he gets a decent amount of receptions and targets typically. Like this guy can be like a little PPR monster. He hasn't been going nuts over the last 5, but if you look at some of these games in 2024, yeah, like first game of the season when he kind of jumped on our radar, he had 8 receptions. So maybe it's not as crazy as I was saying, but like he kind of has that build where he could turn into a pretty solid play for full PPR. But when you look at the receptions versus wide receivers against Cleveland, they're 3rd in receptions allowed. So it's tough there, but he's been able to convert the receiving yards pretty solid, even when he's not getting like a ton of receptions. And then we've got the soft spot here. Even though they don't allow that many receptions, they're 25th in receiving yards allowed. So if we look at those last couple of games, let me just go back to the receptions here just to kind of eye it. So yeah, last 3 games, he's had 4, 4, and 6 as far as his receptions go. And he's converted that into, so the first game against Kansas City, it was right there on the 39 mark. But then he went for 66 receiving yards and 80 receiving yards. So kind of trending up. And then the matchup where it's the softest is actually the receiving yards allowed. So I like him to go over 39.5. I'm going to take a look at the demon too. And, obviously demons are harder to hit. These are not like, guaranteed to hit. None of these plays are, but demons are more difficult. That's why you get a higher payout. So you know what you're getting into. We call them YOLOs, in our Discord. If you're making a slip that's demons, it's a YOLO slip. But yeah, so you know what you're getting into if you're taking that more difficult. But yeah, the matchup to wide receivers looks solid. Let's see. Yeah, that last game he had 9 targets for 6 receptions. So pretty solid target share, averaging 10.9 receiving yards per reception. So if he cashes his if he cashes his receptions at 3.5, I think they had it on some platforms, you're going to probably get that anyways. If we look at the longest reception, these last 2 games, he had 1 reception for 33, 1 for 24. So I think that he's going to have at least 3 or 4 receptions in this game. And I like him to be able to get over that 40 receiving yards mark. So let's take a look at daily grind for this one. Sorry, I usually have these ready to go. Well, let's type him in real quick. All right. What do you think? Okay, they like his fantasy score over, which is what we're taking on parlay play. I forgot to mention that. Taking his fantasy score on parlay play because they don't have, I don't think they had his receiving yards. Let me double check here. They do have his receiving yards. Oh yeah, so they have either the lower one at 24.5 receiving yards for 1.27. They've got this 49.5 receiving yards line, which is what one of the demons are. And I mean, I'm comfortable taking it. If you're looking for a demon style play, 2.44x is solid if you're looking for a boost in the multiplier. But as far as the safe play, I think that fantasy score over 8 is looking good. 4 receptions, 10 yards of reception, you're cashed, you know. Let's see the actual receiving yards. They like his receiving yards to go over 39.5 as well. Just barely. It's a 50.18% odds to hit the over. And obviously this line is getting bounced all around, 38.5, 37.5. It tends to do that this time of the day. So yeah, I'm feeling comfortable with this. I think the receiving yards, I'm comfortable taking the demon too, as a YOLO play. But that's going to cover mine. I'm going to tell you guys a little bit about Outlier. You can try this app out for free. Just go through the link in the description of the video. They're going to give you 7 days to just give this app a shot, see how you like it. But they cover everything, all these different categories of statistics. And then it's awesome for NBA as well. But you can take players in and out of the equation too. If you know a guy's going to be out, you could just click on it and it'll say, here's what this guy you're looking at has done without this guy playing. You know, the one I just clicked isn't relevant. It's like some defensive player, but just to give you the idea, it's awesome. I love using that option for it. And then injury reports are huge. You have all that right built into the app. And then also insights about the players. They just show you about props that they think look good to go over or under, and they give you a note as to why. Then there's a little button where you can just click it and it takes you to that prop on that platform that they found it. So it's pretty dope. You can try it out for free. Just go through the link in the description. You do not need a code. Just sign up through that and you'll be hooked up for a week. All right, Jordy.
All right. Yeah. So to get into mine here, you know, mine are going to be pretty simple to go over because they're first half stuff, right? So this first quarter field goal thing, honestly, in my opinion, it'll probably be Will Lutz who gets it done, unless the Browns can get a really good first drive going, and you know, they can get Dustin Hopkins to just kick a field goal real quick. But Will Lutz has been crazy on the field goal attempts this year. He had 5 in the last game against Vegas. He's just been crushing the field goal lines. So, you know, there's a couple of games where he's only getting 1 or nothing or whatever, but it's against bad teams where they're just absolutely torching him, or like Kansas City. They couldn't get in field goal range against them very much, but they torched Atlanta. Denver's been a just wild anomaly this year. Like, they've been super good. Like, the 2 teams that have just been absolutely 180 flipped around have been the Chargers and Denver. And you know, it's finally working out for Sean Payton. So Will Lutz is like obviously one of the GOATs. So if they can get him in field goal range quickly, he'll get this done, no problem. Dustin Hopkins, he hasn't been doing it as much this year with the field goal attempts. I do like the idea of him getting 2 field goals in this game, even if you guys want to play his demon at 1.5. But he's a minus 137 for under 1.5, so tread carefully with that one. But you know, this year he's kicked 4 in 4 games. He's gotten at least, I mean, more than that. Let's see if we can't bump this down. So he's gone for, I mean, a couple field goals in all these games. He's gone over 1.5 4 out of 11 games, but 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 games he's gone for at least 1 field goal. So if they can get in field goal range, I mean, he's gonna kick it. You know, I think he'll be able to make it in. There's no wind in this game. It's gonna be cold, but you know, nothing really too crazy in like the weather area. So I think their first quarter field goal prop looks great in this game, especially with Will Lutz being on one side of the ball, because that dude is just insanely consistent on at least getting one field goal. So like this first quarter field goal prop to go over. Bo Nix over 107.5 passing yards. I love this line. Let me see here. I had him pulled up a second ago. There we go. Bo Nix. So yeah, this year he's been just crushing this over the last 10 games. 7 out of the last 10 games he's gone over this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 games straight he's hit this, and against tough defenses, against Kansas City, against Baltimore, against New Orleans, you know, a lot of really good passing defenses in here. Against Tampa Bay, he went for, you know, in the first half of the year he was really struggling, but man, he's been on fire these last 6 weeks. So I like this line a lot to go over on the year. Like I said, in those first couple weeks they were really just trying to find their rhythm as an offense, and now Bo Nix has just completely gotten comfortable with the playbook and playing in the system, and he's just been crushing this first half passing line. So I love this line. The receivers are playing great. He's got Devaughn Vele, who's like, you know, Sean Payton's new Michael Thomas. He's got Cortland Sutton, who's just been balling. This guy's spreading the ball out to everybody. So this first half passing prop I think looks great. He's just been crushing this line. So against a passing defense who's 16th in passing yards allowed, I love this line. I think he's gonna have, you know, an easier time in this game than he has in some of these past matchups like Kansas City or even Baltimore. And you know, Baltimore is a pass funnel, but Kansas City is really tough. So you can see they lost that game just barely. That was worth the block field goal game. But Bo Nix, first half passing yards, absolutely loving this one. No odds on this because it's first half stuff, but I have some of these demons I'll show you really quick. This Nick Bonito for over 0.25 sacks. This is a crazy line because he can get an assist on this and get it done, but this dude is 3rd in sacks this year. He's just been crushing this line. Last time they played against them, he had 1.5 sacks in that game, and then in 2024 alone he's got 9 sacks, and I mean he's done this in 9 out of 10 of his last games. One of these games he had 2 in. So, you know, Jameis Winston's not known for using his legs very much. We obviously seen him in the last game take off a couple times, but you know, he's been a victim in the past of just taking horrible, I'm not even gonna say it, but you know what I mean. Nick Bonito is definitely headhunt right now, and the dude looks crazy. And sacks against, they're 32nd. So like I said, Jameis Winston, unfortunately, sometimes he's, you know, he falls victim to not getting the ball out quick enough. So I like this line a lot for a sack prop. And, you know, for a demon, this is a crazy multiplier here. And then they have a Jameis Winston passing touchdown prop, demon at 1.5. He can easily get this done. Jameis Winston's been balling this year. You know, this is a tougher passing defense, but if you take a look here, he's gone over this already twice this year since he's taken over, and he's had a couple opportunities to go way over this line. Obviously in that game against Pittsburgh, that was a crazy snowy game. There wasn't a lot of passing in that game. You know, there was, but there wasn't a lot of red zone opportunities. He ran one in, then Nick Chubb got one. It was a lot of rushing, but he went for 3 passing touchdowns against Baltimore. So the dude is absolutely capable of going over that 1.5 line. So for a plus 175 demon, I mean, this looks great. 6th in passing touchdowns, so it is tough, but I think he could easily get it done. So that's the 2 I wanted to cover that stuck out to me. The Nick Bonito one I'm definitely going to be playing because I think that looks great. But yeah, if you guys want to check out the DFS optimizer from Daily Grind, go check it out. I mean, they put all the top plays right on top of the board, so you can, you know, make an easy slip and get all the best value right at the top. Super simple, helps you cash a lot more. It pays for itself in the end, honestly. And yeah, if you want to go check that out, go to dgfantasy.com and use code BACKDOOR for 25% off your first purchase. And if you want to check out Chalkboard, use code BACKDOOR at Chalkboard to get 100% match up to $100 and a free play to help you cash your first slip. And yeah, that's going to cover it all for me today, man.
All right. Well, my boy Ash joined me.
There he is.
He's hanging out. We're going to talk demons.
Brought one in to talk about him.
Yeah. Another demon that I like is Jerry Jeudy. I like that, you know, some of these demons, you can, you know, they give you multiple options. He has a 6.5 reception and a 5.5 reception, I believe. I like the 5.5. These last 3 games, he's cleared it. He's gone for 6 or more in 3 straight games. And then the matchup is relatively soft, 23rd in receptions allowed to wide receivers. So feeling good about that. And then obviously the Jordan Akins, God, I got to figure that out. That's driving me crazy. Yeah, I like him to be able to go over his. He has a demon at 29.5, I believe is what it's set at. Let me double check. Where are you at? I'm on receptions right now. Yeah, yep, 29.5. Obviously these are like long shots trying to get your multiplier up, but yeah, like we talked about earlier, he has, 4 different games out of the last 5 where he had at least 1 catch for 18 yards or more. So if he, gets 2 decent catches, he could clear that 29.5. So those are the types of things I'm looking for when I'm thinking about taking a demon play. I like to dial into the details and really look and see if this is just a total long shot, or if there's like an actual scenario where I could see this playing out. This is one of them. And then obviously this Cortland Sutton, he's just been hot lately. So I could see him going over. I think his lowest was 79.5. Like I kind of thought that Devaughn Vele was going to be the Michael Thomas earlier on too, because of the PPR he was getting, but it looks like it's going to actually be Cortland Sutton, who is the big bodied receiver. What is he, like 6'4"? Just a huge dude, but he's just been taken off lately. Good connection. Yeah. So even at that 79.5, he was knocking on the door for 2 of those and then cleared it in 3. And that was against Carolina, expected, Baltimore, expected, and Las Vegas, kind of somewhat expected. But the bottom line is, like last 5 weeks, his lowest outing was against Kansas City for 70. So if you think that he can go for 10 more against Cleveland, I think it's pretty solid if you're looking for a demon. But yeah, I don't think there was really, the Jerry Jeudy receptions, Cortland Sutton. I even like the Devaughn Vele receiving yards. Here he is. Let's see what the lowest we got is. At 49. Yeah, he could get that done. 49.5. Look at those last 2 outings. 66 and 80. So, yeah, I'm comfortable with Vele, Sutton, Akins. I like, again, Jerry Jeudy's receptions over his receiving yards. Let's see, what's the lowest? That 69.5 is probably doable. 4 straight of getting that done, but he could be seeing Surtain tonight. So the receptions are softer, 23rd in receptions allowed. I think that Denver's pretty good about not allowing a whole lot of yards. Yeah, so 8th in receiving yards allowed to wide receivers, but so you got to sort of like dink and dunk against the Broncos. But I would go receptions over yards personally, but you never know. These guys are all professionals. It doesn't matter how good you are. You've got like if you're a lockdown corner, there's still going to be outings where these professional athletes show up and they have a good game. So you can't be scared off too much, but Surtain is amazing. So keep that in mind. If you guys want to check out our Discord, don't forget we're running the, I don't know if I mentioned at the top of the show, but we're running a Cyber Monday deal. So if you guys want to join, we're doing 75% off for you today. Just throughout the end of the day, it'll go until 3 a.m. Eastern. So people on the West Coast can still take advantage, but 75% off. You can also get 30 days added on top of that if you happen to sign up for Parlay Play and use our code BACKDOOR. Email us at bdfantasysports@gmail.com and we will get you hooked up within 24 hours for an added 30 days. So if you end up wanting to do like Cyber Monday today and you're like, but I do want to check out Parlay Play, will I still be able to get that additional 30? And the answer is yes. We'll still give you that extra month. If you decide to do this and you want to, use your Parlay Play hookup later, we'll figure out a way to work it out with you. So, yeah, if you want to take advantage, though, use Patreon. Patreon is what we use for our subscriptions. So sign up there. In the settings on Patreon, you go to connected apps in the menu bar, and then you can log into your Discord right there. And then don't forget to follow us on the socials at BackdoorFS, TikTok, Instagram, X. We have all of our personal socials in there as well in the description. But guys, we appreciate you. Thank you so much for tuning in. Don't forget to like the video, show us a little bit of love. Enjoy this game, and we'll catch you in the next video.
Good luck, guys.